Welcome to today's crash course on intuitive eating. We're going to cover what it is, why it's important, and most importantly, how to. So during this detox program, everything that you're going to be eating will arrive in your socks. But just as important as what you're eating is actually how you're consuming it. Intuitive eating is a practice that's going to help you enhance and boost the absorption rate of the nutrients that you'll be consuming, as well as help you feel full for longer and really make sure that you feel grounded and positive in the relationship that you have with the nutrients that your body's absorbing. So what is intuitive eating? Did you know that most of us switch into some level of unconsciousness while we're eating? So this is evident in the fact that we don't chew enough. For the most part, we stop breathing as much. Our breathing slows down quite a bit. And it's really easy for us to just clear the plate. If you ever finished a bowl or bag of anything that you were eating while sitting in front of the TV and just kind of kept mindlessly doing that action over and over again, you're not alone. So this actually comes from the fact that when we first learn to eat, when we learn to consume food, we're not doing it ourselves, it's someone else that's feeding us. And well into our adult years, for the most part, most of the population still continues to eat somewhat unconsciously. This happens when we eat while we're doing other things, when we're distracted, when we eat in front of the television, or even eat on the go. Intuitive or mindful eating has to do with staying fully conscious and fully experiencing and being present for the action of nourishing yourself. On a lot of levels, feeding yourself can become a spiritual practice, but not if you're disengaged or unconscious while you're doing it. So let's talk a little bit about how to when it comes to intuitive eating. So pause the video right now, go grab something to eat. Any solid food that you can have either a bite of or one piece of, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a piece of fruit or a potato chip, whatever it is, just go grab one thing to eat so that we can practice together the action of intuitive eating. So there are a lot of writings on how to do this. Some of them get very complicated. This is a very basic, simple, easy to implement action of how to eat intuitively. When it comes to my diet and the way that I feed myself, I don't have any restrictions. I follow my intuition, I follow my cravings even. That's right, I don't have cravings very often, but when I do, I'm totally open to explore them. But when that happens, I definitely do so intuitively. So let's start with whatever it is that you have in front of you to eat. Now I've got a little piece of mango here that I'm gonna do this with. So it starts by setting the stage. That's right, the stage, because we're gonna be really intentional and fully focused and fully present in the experience of eating. It doesn't have to take a long amount of time, but it definitely takes a little more thought and consideration and some prep work. So I've got a little table set up behind my house that I really love. It's usually sunny in the mornings, and it is where I like to go to really focus on enjoying a good meal. The most important thing is that the area is clear of distractions. You're not even gonna have your cell phone with you. I know, scary, but you're not even gonna have any electronic devices. Maybe you wanna play some music, and that's fine, but just don't have it right there in front of you as the focus, because the food that you're about to eat is your focus. Now, as I mentioned, a lot of us stop breathing or reduce our breathing when we're eating. So the first thing we're gonna reintroduce to enjoying a meal is a very powerful tool for mindfulness, and that is breathing or the breath. So before you take your first bite, you're going to take a full deep breath. Have you ever heard the saying that you eat with your eyes first? Well, we are definitely going to do that today. The first step after taking a full cycle of deep breath, you're going to observe or actually look at your food. Use your eyes to gaze and scan what you're about to eat. really look at it. What do you notice when you look at your food? Are there vibrant colors? Are there any textures you can observe? Any patterns, recurring patterns? I can see in this little slice of mango that I have that there are little ridges left from where the knife cut it. So really take a moment to look at your food. Notice every detail that you can. And by really coming into the moment and observing, how does the light reflect on it? What bites or what areas look really delicious? And how many ingredients can you see in the dish that you're about to eat? How many can you identify? Do you see heat, signs of heat coming off of it? So really take a full beat to look at, gaze on, and enjoy the beauty of whatever it is that you're about to enjoy. Next, you're gonna feed yourself with another full cycle of breath as you're looking at your food, as we move into the next step, which is smell. So go ahead and take some deep inhales over your food. What aromas can you detect in what it is you're about to eat? This mango smells amazing. It smells so sweet, so already I can signal my brain notices those sweet smells, a little bit of tanginess, a little bit of fruit, and I immediately recognize the aroma of mango. I could tell this probably blindfolded. So go ahead and take a few deep inhales and notice what aromas you can detect in the dish that you're about to eat or in the item that you're about to eat. Once you've done that, we're gonna take another, you guessed it, deep breath and compose a bite. So if it's one thing, like could be a raisin, whatever you've got in front of you, if it's a singular object, then that's an easy thing to do. If it's a full dish in front of you, you're actually gonna take some time to put together and compose a perfect bite on your spoon or fork or right there on your plate, okay? Once you've got that, you guessed it, take another full deep inhale and then take a bite. Okay, while you've got the food in your mouth, this might be the most important part of intuitive eating. Be there in the moment to really savor and enjoy everything that you're tasting. What flavors do you taste? Are they salty? Are they sweet? Use your tongue. What textures do you experience? Continue to chew and hold the food in your mouth. And breathe while you're eating. Now, it's against the rules for me to be talking while you're doing this, but I'm just coaching you through it, okay, for your first bite or two. How does the texture change as you chew your food? How do the flavors change? What's the first flavor note that you notice when you put it in your mouth? And what are some of the last flavors to linger on your tongue as you're chewing and swallowing? Once you finish chewing, take a deep breath. Now, for every single bite, you don't have to go through the entire process, but definitely, before taking another bite, take a few breaths. Observe your food again, take another whiff, and before you put anything else in your mouth, ask yourself, am I hungry for more? This is a question that most of us who are eating unconsciously never stop to ask. We start in on that hamburger or whatever it is, and we assume that we're finished when it's gone. But for the most part, when I'm following, like I said, my cravings, it's true that once in a while I'll crave something that is completely outside of my regular diet, a waffle or a milkshake. But when I go to the effort of acquiring that food and then sit there in front of it, really enjoy it, really savor it, I very rarely get to more than 5 bites before that craving is completely satiated and I enjoyed it to the fullest. So after every single bite, you're gonna remember to stop, put down your knife and fork while you're chewing. When you're done chewing, take a full cycle of breath and ask yourself, do I want more? Am I full, or do I still desire more? And if you do, go ahead and enjoy the aroma. Observe any differences in the texture and the shape and the colors and the experience as you go through the process of truly enjoying your meal. And then when you're ready, create another bite and really savor it. Now, don't skip out on the breathing that you do throughout, because that's a really important time for your body and your mind to process what's actually happening, for your stomach to register what it's getting. If you were craving starches or sugar or fat, your brain has to register that it's being nurtured with what it asked for. This definitely takes discipline. So for the next 5 days, you've got one meal that is scheduled to enjoy intuitively through the entire meal. It's breakfast. It's the first meal of the day. And by really taking that time to break your fast of overnight, which is what breakfast means, and really enjoy the experience of nurturing yourself with the first meal of the day, this will set you up for success throughout the rest of the day. For your other 2 meals, all I ask is that you begin them intuitively. So start them out with this process. You can take a few bites in a row if you're in a rush, but really take as much time as you can throughout the meal to really enjoy and be fully present for the experience. If you've got kids that are eating at the table with you, they love it when you take that extra time to really engage with them, interact with them, as you take your time to enjoy your meal. So that is your really fast crash course in intuitive eating. Since I started intuitive eating, I have a much better relationship with food. I enjoy it so much more, and I have cravings far less than I used to. I hope you enjoy your adventures in intuitive eating.